Peter Holt, a report from Dubai City. We're here planting a trial of 40 water boxes alongside the road. There's no water in the soil, so we add some compost and other things which I show in this movie. We first measure out the distances, how we want to plant. This is what you see in the next shot. We have a distance of 7 meters from the roadside and 5 meters between each tree. You then make a planting hole, and because we add compost, the planting hole has to be about 40 centimeters deep. We add the compost because this soil is so poor, it cannot hold any water. So with the compost we do some soil improvement. I want to give you an idea of the challenge that we have here on how dry this soil is. Just take a look at this. This is the quality that we planted. So it's really a challenge. Once we've proved that it works here, you can imagine there's no place on earth where we cannot plant. As you can see, we put the soil all around the planting place, so that later on, after you've put the water box, you have soil enough to cover the sides. So we don't put it on one side. Now you see that the planting hole is about 40 centimeters deep, and we put the bag with compost in the middle of it. Then we mix the soil with about 50% of the sand. We make a mix of approximately 50% sand and 50% compost. We add about 30 liters of water and let that water drain into the soil, so that we create a water column for the future penetrating roots. After watering, we are going to open the soil. The reason is that the soil is collapsed because of the water and we want oxygen to enter. So we just open it and then wait for an hour to leave the oxygen entering the soil. Even better is to open the soil and wait for 1 day. Okay, so you start to make the soil flat. The oxygen has entered now. You see the soil is very beautiful. And then we go and prepare our trees. You see these trees grow in a plastic bag. And the problem with the plastic bag is that the primary root is destroyed. So what we do is cut this part of the plastic bag. Here I show you the bottom of the plastic bag, the part that we've cut off, and you can see that the root cannot grow further and it starts to grow horizontal. This is the primary root. You can see that it has grown horizontal on the bottom. That's why we want to cut it off. Then we cut the side of the bag carefully. Because we do not want to destroy the secondary roots, we plant it in the middle. Before planting, you have to define the distance. You open the carton cover and then you can define your distance. And we plant the box in an east-west direction. So the sun comes up in the east, we put this east-west. Find the places. Put our tree. And again we find the primary root horizontally growing. So this is the part that we've cut off. plant it here. And then we also take off the top of the plant, because as long as the roots are not active, we don't want the plant to evaporate. Then we put the soil back until this level. As you've seen, we've used plants of about 1 year old, and the reason is that then these plants have wood, which means that they are less sensible for the heat of the sun. The same is with the root system. When you have a woody root system, it will resprout. We put the carton cover because the bottom of the box is open and we do not want the water to evaporate through the middle. That's why this part is actually protecting the water that's in the soil from evaporating. We also add some soil on top. So that later on, when we fill the water, the soil will actually fill up all the gaps between the box and the soil, so that we do not have any ventilation. As soon as you have ventilation here, the wick will dry out. Then we put the wick on its place alongside the box, and we put the box on top. Then we install the box. Take care that you put these sides, edges, in the opening that you see here. This way they will click. They will be fixed in such a way that animals cannot take them out. The box is now installed, so we start to put our sand. The height of the sand is until this edge. So the box stays about 10 centimeters above the soil. Take care that this opening is above the level of the soil. So when there is too much water, the water can drain out instead of washing out the roots in the middle. That's why we have the overflow. Now we're going to fill with water. We first fill a little bit of water in the box, because otherwise it can start to flow. By adding some water, you give some weight to the box. Then we start giving water from the opposite side, so that the water drains over the beds into the middle of the box. We want to prevent the roots from washing out, that's why we do it carefully. You add about 4 liters of water in the middle of the box. With this water, we compact the soil around the roots of the trees. Okay. Well done. You see that the box is full. We put the cap on top. And this way we have enough water for approximately 1 year.